Hi, welcome to a new recap. Today we'll watch Avatar, The Way of Water, nominated for 4 Oscars. Enjoy! The film begins on Pandora, with Jake Sully recapping his life since joining the Na'vi as head of the Metkayina family. He and Neytiri have become guardians to Netayam, Loic, and Tuk, alongside one more taken-on little girl, Kiri, who is the organic girl of Grace Augustine's Na'vi avatar. The children likewise invest energy with a human kid, Spider, who was abandoned with the human researchers after the past gathering cleared Pandora since infants couldn't be placed into cryostasis. While the youngsters view Spider as something of a cousin, Neytiri feels the kid would be in an ideal situation with different people, to a limited extent because of her own scorn of the Sky People. While everything appears to be ecstatic, Jake's bliss is immediately broken when transports of RDA ships start to slide upon Pandora, obliterating gigantic pieces of the timberland and killing the untamed life. Jake and Neytiri get their kids and the other Na'vi to somewhere safe, yet Jake holds his better half as they watch with dismay at the annihilation abandoned. After 1 year, Colonel Quaritch awakens revived in his own avatar body. While he goes after his previous colleagues, all now in their own Na'vi skins, Quaritch before long acknowledges what occurred subsequent to watching a video log he passed on himself before their past endeavored mission to destroy the Na'vi's Tree of Souls before he and his group were undeniably killed. In the wake of social occasion, their new weaponry, Quaritch chooses to lead a group back onto Pandora in view of one objective: killing Jake. The RDA has colonized Pandora and fabricated a mining base, alongside a settlement called Bridgehead City. Jake drives a few Na'vi to fly their Ikran to go after the people's airplane and supply lines. Netayam and Loic endeavor to join the battle, almost getting seriously harmed simultaneously. Jake gets them to somewhere safe yet reprimands them for placing themselves in the line of fire. The gathering gets back to their camp with the remainder of the family. Jake talks about with Neytiri what these progressions are meaning for their youngsters' lives. In the interim, Spider joins Loic and Kiri as they go to the humans' exploration office where Norm Spellman and Max Patel keep on working. Kiri converses with Grace's avatar as her body lies in the tank. Spider then noticed that his Na'vi companions basically know their folks, while he knows and despises who his dad was, Quaritch. Quaritch and his group show up at their base and meet General Francis Ardmore, who refreshes him on their activities since his time being dead. Ardmore educates them regarding the benefits the Metkayina have on them prior to letting them know how they can acquire their own advantage. The group enters the woods at precisely the same time that Jake's children and Spider are playing there. While Kiri submerges herself in the nature, different children spot Quaritch and his group as they overview the previous connection unit for the people and their avatars. He finds his skeleton inside the AMP suit where he was killed. The lowlifes track down the children, and they understand they are Jake's children since they have 5 fingers. Quaritch meets Spider and acknowledges he is the kid's dad. Quaritch brings in Ardmore and her crew to descend while he accepts different children as prisoners. Jake and Neytiri are made aware of the scene, and both are paralyzed to see their enemy alive and in a Na'vi body. Neytiri kills a portion of Quaritch's group before they open fire. She and Jake figure out how to get their children back, yet Quaritch and his enduring partners fall back, taking Spider with them. Ardmore subjects the kid to a torment strategy to inspire him to reveal data on the group's area. However, Quaritch stops her and picks to attempt to draw nearer to Spider to procure his trust. He persuades Spider to ride alongside him on their main goal, or probably the researchers will investigate him. Jake converses with Neytiri about leaving the tribe now that they are being focused on. While Neytiri would rather not leave her home, Jake guarantees her that it is best for their kids and the remainder of the faction. He gives authority to another champion, Tarsem, and he leaves the group with Neytiri and their kids. They fly their Ikran and make a beeline for the eastern seaboard to the home of the Metkayina family of Na'vi. The family accumulates with their chief, Tonowari, and his pregnant spouse, Ronal. Jake demands cover for his family. However, Ronal and different tribesmen rush to peer down on Jake and his children for their half-human legacy, as well as the capability of carrying their threats to this land. In any case, Tonowari regards the achievement of the Toruk Makto and permits them to remain, and furthermore trains his youngsters Aoning and Soraya to tell Jake's kids the best way to adjust to their maritime environmental elements. Quaritch and his group take Spider through the Timberland, with Spider turning into their interpreter for the Navi language that the group is as yet attempting to learn. Quaritch additionally figures out how to interface himself to his own Ikran, but more powerfully than the Metkayina. Jake's children join Aoning and Soraya, in addition to Aonung's companion Racho, as they investigate the reef. Soraya shows that they speak with the submerged animals through gesture-based communication, and they connect to them the same way the Metkayina connect to their creatures. Nonetheless, when Loic endeavors to interface with an animal, he is gotten rapidly through the water and is misled. In the meantime, Kiri has a more regular association with the animals and assists one of them with communicating with Tuk. Jake and Neytiri are told the best way to fly the Soruk, which can move in the air as well as submerged. Loic draws nearer to Soraya, who tells him the best way to better his breathing submerged. He likewise takes him and his sisters more profound submerged by utilizing animals that give air while laying on their backs. Notwithstanding, Aoning and Racho are hostile toward Kiri for her being viewed as a crossbreed, prompting Loic hitting Aoning upside the head. Netayam participates in the battle alongside Aonung's companions, prompting Jake admonishing his children for their way of behaving. Jake powers Loic to apologize to Aoning. He does as such, and Aoning welcomes Loic to chase with him and his companions. They go far enough until they stunt Loic into pursuing an animal, not long before he and his animal are gone after by an akula that kills Loic's mount prior to pursuing him. Loic endeavors to swim back up before he runs winded, yet the akula endeavors to show no mercy until Loic is saved by a whale-like animal called a tulkun, named Payakan. Loic follows Payakan and finds a spear trapped in his balance, so he eliminates it and procures Payakan's trust. Jake addresses Kiri, who has been feeling different recently because of how the situation was playing out. She asserts she can feel the heartbeat of their goddess Awa and that it is strong. Jake guarantees her that her checks out. Everybody then, at that point, sees Loic return, and Tonowari reproves Aoning for driving Loic past the reef when it is prohibited, yet Loic assumes the fault for all that to save Aoning from causing problems. Jake lets Loic know that he has disgraced the family with his activities, yet Aoning comes to regard Loic. Loic tells his kin, in addition to Soraya and the other Metkayina, about his experience with Payakan, yet Soraya illuminates Loic that Pakayan is viewed as an outsider among the other tulkun. After Loic endeavors to speak with Payakan to dive deeper into his set of experiences, Soraya takes the others toward the inlet of their progenitors, showing them how the land looks during the obscuration. She likewise directs them submerged to the Metkayina Tree of Souls. At the point when Kiri interfaces herself to the tree, she can see and speak with grace. Nonetheless, Kiri before long experiences a horrible seizure, and her kin take her back to the shore. Jake gets Norm and Max to help out Kiri, however they are of no assistance until Ronal attempts her hand and can restore Kiri. Norm lets Jake know that any dreams she assumes she is seeing may be a consequence of cerebrum epilepsy. Tragically, Quaritch's colleague Lyle Wainfleet educates him regarding a radar lifted up off the gunship that Norm and Max came in on. The lowlifes then get together with a whaling vessel worked by Commander Mick Scoresby and Dr. Ian Garvin to give them a greater amount of a benefit, since they are as of now hunting tulkun for hostile to maturing cures. The Metkayina bond with their tulkun, including Ronal and her spirit sister Roa. Before long, Quaritch and his group appear. They pitilessly kill a tulkun and undermine a Metkayina lady except if they unveil the area of Jake and his loved ones. Spider becomes astonished and attempts to get his dad to stop. The miscreants then start to torch their trees and homes. Quaritch orders his group to go after to attract Jake to them. Once more, Loic attempts to ask Payakan how he made him an untouchable. Payakan opens his mouth and permits Loic to enter him in connection with him. Loic sees Payakan's recollections and sees that he went after the whalers since they killed his mom and family. Loic endeavors to transfer this new data to the Metkayina, yet Jake attempts to quiet him down with the goal that they don't gamble further distancing the Metkayina. Loic converses with Soraya about this, and she has confidence in him. The whalers start their assault, sending off spears loaded up with inflatables and penetrating the balances of the Tulkun, including Roa and her youngster. In the wake of gathering their material from her, Ronal and the other Metkayina show up, and Ronal howls in misery at the deficiency of her spirit sister and her youngster. Tonowari and Ronal, alongside many furious Metkayina, turn their wrath toward Jake for driving the bad guys to their territory, as they probably were aware would occur. At the point when Jake brings up that the Tulkun will be set apart for death with the whalers' trackers, he advises the Metkayina to caution the Tulkun before a greater amount of them are killed. Loic takes off to caution Payakan, notwithstanding Netayam's alerts against it. He follows his sibling, alongside Soraya and Aoning, and afterward Kiri and Tuk. They track down Payakan, currently hit with a tracker. Netayam contacts Jake to alarm him, and he and Neytiri head off to safeguard their children. The whalers start their assault, pursuing the children and Tulkun. Jake and Neytiri are joined by Metkayina champions in the battle. The children are caught in the battle and are kept hostage on the vessel. At the point when Jake and company show up, Quaritch orders him to remain down, holding Loic at gunpoint to show he's not kidding. Jake gets ready to give over himself until Payakan sees his spirit sibling in harm's way, so he jumps out of the water and throws down onto the vessel, bringing a few whalers down all the while. The Navi utilize this second to dash into fight. With assistance from Payakan and the Metkayina, they can kill the vast majority of the whalers. Scoresby endeavors to spear Payakan, however he figures out how to fold the wire over their boat, killing the men and cutting off Scoresby's arm all the while. The children escape, and Kiri utilizes her powers to control the sea climate to kill a few whalers. Spider additionally turns on different people and rejoins his Navi family. Amidst the fight, Netayam salvages his kin and their companions, however he is shot. The family gets to a stone where they endeavor to help Netayam, yet he capitulates to his injuries. Neytiri moans in despair at the deficiency of her child, and the remainder of the family is crushed. Quaritch contacts Jake, uncovering he has Kiri and Tuk as his prisoners. Jake makes a beeline for the sinking vessel for the last standoff, joined by Neytiri, Spider, and Loic. Neytiri heartlessly butchers Quaritch's group in retaliation for Netayam, similarly as Jake goes to confront his adversary. After Jake liberates Tuk, Quaritch arises with Kiri and a blade to her throat. Neytiri gets Spider and undermines his life consequently. In spite of the fact that Quaritch attempts to deny his consideration and relationship with the kid, he yields and allows Kiri to pursue. Neytiri cuts Spider across his chest. Neytiri carries the children to somewhere safe and secure, and Jake chooses to end it with Quaritch, battling until the very end. The vessel begins to descend totally, catching the family submerged. Jake battles Quaritch until he figures out how to get him in a stranglehold and let him sink submerged. Loic finds his dad, who advises him to do without him since Jake doesn't figure he will make it, yet Loic assists him with breathing the manner in which Soraya showed him, and they escape with Payakan. In the interim, Kiri gathers the submerged animals to assist her with getting Neytiri and Tuk out of there. Spider swims to save Quaritch, however he leaves him for his malicious deeds and rejoins Jake's family, with Jake authoritatively taking him in as a child. Jake gets ready to say goodbye to Tonowari, however he lets Jake know that he and his family are Metkayina now and are free to remain. The family then holds a burial service for Netayam, where his body is given to the Tree of Soul, and they are informed that he is currently with Awa. Jake and Neytiri interface themselves to the tree, where they can see Netayam through recollections. Jake, perceiving this land as his family's new home, promises to keep on doing battle and safeguard them. Subscribe to the channel for more thrilling recaps. See you next time.